my first investment was when I was 18. I literally bought a house that was actually at one time a one-room schoolhouse. And when I bought the house, the first mortgage payment I had was $165.81. And I was literally at 18, am I going to be able to afford this? Right. Well, I was rented it out, and that was my first rental.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I am your host, Q Edmonds. Listen, I hope this gentleman don't mind me saying this, but y'all, we got a living legend. Like we have somebody here. He's been in the game for a long time. He is an expert when it comes to evaluation and appraising. He's been in the business for a long time, so it ain't gonna be nothing I can throw at him that he hasn't already figured out. But I'm so excited that he gets to tell his story and take us through his journey. So I introduced to some Mr. Jeb Fuller. Mr. Jeb, how you doing today, sir?
Good. Thank you for the invitation. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. It's great to have you on. And Mr. Jeb, I'll be honest with you, I kind of want to dive right in. So I would love for you just to tell the people what your main focus is these days. Mr. Jeb, if you want to give them a little origin story about, how you got into real estate to how you got to where you are now, we would love to know that. And then tell them what part of the world you're in, what markets you operate in. I'm sure they'll get a kick when you answer that. But Mr. Jeb, sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you for everybody for watching this great podcast. I've watched some of them, and you gain a lot of information in these podcasts. I'm a real estate educator, but my first investment was when I was 18. I literally bought a house that was actually at one time a one-room schoolhouse. And when I bought the house, the first mortgage payment I had was $165.81. And I was literally at 18, am I going to be able to afford this? Right. Well, I was rented it out, and that was my first rental. And eventually I kept going and growing and growing. And then I said, well, I grew up on a farm, great work ethic, but my grandfather instilled, you got to get an education. You got to have that college degree. I don't want you staying on the farm. Now the farm probably is worth $2 million nowadays, but he wanted me out of there. So I found a college, Pace University in Manhattan, offers a bachelor's degree in real estate. So I sold some of my real estate, put myself through college. And I learned a lot in the Manhattan real estate market, let me tell you. But since then, there's been many decades, and I don't want to say how long. I just say 30 plus at this point. But,
Yeah.
I've been through every investment possibility there has been. I bought and sold notes. I've sold and managed houses. I was the guy that started the first yellow letter, and that was by an accident because I was getting my auctioneer's license. I went to a wholesale auction, and when I bid, I didn't realize I was buying 50 cases of paper, and it was the yellow letter, and yellow paper, so I used that for the yellow letters. But things were a lot different back then. Then I mailed out 250 letters, and I got 10, 12 deals out of that 250 letters. In the last 6 months, I've mailed over 40 something thousand pieces of mail. but my target's different now. I focus on commercial. I'm not trying to flip a house and make 10, 15, 20,000. I'm looking for something that can make me a million in 5 to 7 years. Because at this point, what I'm at is in rotation. I've done my 1031s, scaled up, and now I look at a property that I'm going to keep for 5 to 7 years. It's going to be in my rotation.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
And have, during that rotation, gain $1 million in equity. If at the end of the 5 or 7 years it doesn't and it's still good cash flowing, then I just hold it because I have nothing to lose. All my properties are high equity properties. I don't go anything above 60% in equity. So at this time, it's just slow roll, but very healthy in the margins.
I love it. I love it. I think you are the first person I heard ever say you sold real estate to get you some of your properties to put you through college. Like that, I think that's the first time I've ever heard that. I mean, that's amazing in itself right there, really.
Well, well, I think you can be overeducated in real estate. I
Gotcha.
got the bachelor's degree that satisfied the family, but then when I went out and wanted to make my mark in the world by not working for somebody, then they all said, "Oh, you're wasting your degree," right? And
Mm,
since then, I went to NYU for some grad studies in real estate. Just 2 months ago, I took the Wharton class for, real estate investment valuation, which primarily focuses on big institutional, properties. But
gotcha.
I'm always educating myself. I'm also a licensed educator. But there's always something new to learn. But many of these people, they come out with these gurus or these
Mm,
classes. And I'll be
yeah.
honest with you, the two I got here right on my desk. This book from William Nickerson, copyrighted in 1957,
Hmm,
and this is showing my age, but these were published before I was born. And
gotcha.
this one, How to Profit by Rehabilitating Real Estate, also from 19. This is the Burr method. Okay, nobody invented
Yeah.
Burr method 10 years ago. They
Yeah.
they invented the acronym, but it's
Yeah.
everything. There's very little to learn as far as the investment part of real estate. The things you got to know is the tax law, how to take
Yeah.
advantage of 1031s, and how to have staying power. Now, leverage in real estate is your biggest friend and your biggest enemy because
Yeah.
you don't want to be over leveraged. You got to be able to hold out the downtimes.
Yeah.
And during the downtime, the great mortgage crisis, 2008, worked for one of the biggest banks in the country. I was their top REO asset manager. So what I did, they'd give me hundreds of foreclosed properties. And at the end of every month, this is how that system worked back then. Everybody's going to say, boy, I wish I was in that market then. I mean, a lot of people lost a lot of property. I would get the call from Texas, you have to sell 30 properties in the next 2 days.
Mm,
And it would be 25, 30 cents on the dollar, bang, gone.
wow.
So I wish I could have bought back then too, but
Yeah.
I was carrying nearly 75 houses myself and people weren't paying the rent.
Yeah. Yeah. No, thank you, man. Listen, you have you brought up the book. You said, listen, the Burr method wasn't invented 10 years ago. It's just the acronym, right?
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's
Yeah.
new to put a kind of brand on it, right? So I
Yeah.
want to ask you, what are some of the strategies you use throughout the years with business and actual personal? What are some of your personal strategies that you use as well? I know some people might do meditation or some people may, do a lot of reading. So What are personal strategies that you've used throughout the years? What are business strategies that you've used throughout the years that help you be successful?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Well, I'm always, the self-help kind of guy, the books kind of those. Og Mandino was one of my favorite authors. I actually got to meet him once.
Well,
And like these books that I showed you from the 1950s, those are classics. I mean, I have a library that's over 1,200 books on real estate,
yeah.
So
Mhm.
I used to read constantly. So but you got to keep the positive mindset because this business is going to knock you down. And in order to stay and be profitable, you got to be able to do the long term. We all hear about the stories where I bought something last year and I made $200,000, but they hold it and then the market goes down and then they over leverage. And, it's like a stock. You buy it for 10, goes up to 20, you don't sell. Now it's at
Mm.
3. So
Yeah.
you got to know the cycles. You got to be able to weather the cycles. And that's some things, you have to have in the mindset, not only the technical aspects of investing in real estate, but you're going to have maybe a significant other that can't weather the storm as you can, or you might not, and you bring it home and it's too stressful. So you really got to keep the positive mindset, but a lot of the positive mindset will remain if you invest right to begin with, if you're not taking these chances.
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. So let me ask you this: throughout your years, have you learned some things that you forever to learn, right? Forever to educate yourself. Have you had to learn anything the hard way? Have you kind of found education because of some adversity? Is there any time you had adversity as you was growing?
Yes, definitely. That's why I tell her, I try to instill in my kids, you don't need a college degree like me. Experience is going to be the best teacher, right?
Mm, mm,
You go
mm.
out and you invest in your first real estate deal and you'll learn more than the 1,200 books I mentioned, right? You'll
Yeah,
learn more than the college degree I mentioned because experience is the best teacher.
yeah.
So I've learned, like I said, at one time I said, I'm going to have 100 houses or it's going to kill me. Well, I nearly had 100 houses at the same time and it nearly did kill me.
Mm,
And I would
mm,
always, when times got tough, I'd go to the commercial real estate, either a warehouse, retail center lot, and I'd flip that to subsidize my residential houses. I was
mm,
doing it backwards, and I did this for literally 2 decades. I should
mm,
have been flipping to the commercial way earlier than I did. I got stuck in this, oh, it's like now everybody says, "Oh, in these funds, I owe 1,000 doors, own 1,000
mm, mm.
doors," when they
Yeah.
didn't invest enough to buy 1,000 doorknobs, right? Well,
Mm,
I was getting stuck in the commercial. You gotta make the jump to better quality properties and get your leverage down, keep it healthy. You want to have 40% leverage in your properties and move forward that way and take advantage of 1031s. If I had to tell my kids what to do, you know, buy a house as soon as you can. Everybody wishes they bought the houses when they were 3% mortgage rates, 3.5. Well, you should buy one every year, never sell, just rent, rent, rent. When you get to the 10th one, because you can get 10 mortgages, then you say, well, can I sell a group of these and move up to commercial? And that's what I did. I moved up, stepped up. And then you get one commercial, then you get two, then you get three, then you get four, then you get five. And the first one ends up being worth $2 million. And you're aging the seventh one. By the time that seventh year comes, that one's worth 2 million. So then you start rotating them out one by one to even higher properties.
No, I love it. Great method, great method. Let me ask you, what's the next real goal for you? What's next for you? What are you targeting next?
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Well, I'm either in a plane or in the car so many times. I'm a certified general real estate appraiser, commercial, in Maryland, Tennessee, Virginia, DC, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Hawaii. As you see behind me, there's a bunch of Hawaii stuff. So I'm trying to focus more time in Hawaii than I am in the rest of the states. But every day I'll get a call, from somebody investing a fund or a group or a bank to look at a commercial property. So I'm always on the road or on a plane looking at commercial property, because real due diligence is not armchair underwriting. It's for these commercial properties. It's going out and seeing them. I can look at 100 properties. I could take 100 Wendy's restaurants in the country, and it will show me all the cap rates. And out of that 100, there's probably 3 you should invest in, 40 are dogs, and the rest are just, okay, it's just going to be a steady net. So, I would like to focus more. Obviously, I want to spend more time in Hawaii, but when you look at cap rates in Hawaii for an old 1960s, 1970s 10 unit, they're built like cinder block construction. So the interior wall and the exterior wall, the washer and dryers on the porch, the AC is a window unit. The cap rate's 4% because there's so much money there. So you really can't invest in Hawaii. But and I have no investments. I have them up and down the eastern seaboard from DC to Atlanta. My properties are usually along 95, 85, or 75 within a mile of an exit. So, you go where you can make the money. You go where the demographics are growing. You go where the traffic's increasing. And then you let time do the magic. Everybody says, oh, buy right. Yeah, buy right. Buy right in the right location. Buy right where the per capita income's going up. Buy right where the traffic count's going up. That's how you buy right.
Listen, you're giving the people a lot of free nuggets, man. And I hear you dropping the nuggets in there. Listen, do you have a favorite place to invest? I know you're focusing on Hawaii, but do you have a favorite place that you like to invest?
Well, I like to invest, I won't invest in DC. I know you're
Understood. Understood, sir.
I was getting in and out. They have a thing called TOFO in DC, and the tenant has the first option to buy the property after you put the contract on it. So, I mean,
You're not know that.
I like Tennessee. I love Tennessee. North Carolina, I love. Georgia, I love. So those are probably right now I have 2 offers going out, and one of them's in South Carolina and one of them's in Virginia. And Fairfax County, Virginia, around the DC area, Prince William County, Loudoun County, all great because the demographics are so strong. They're building all those data centers there. But, Raleigh, Durham, for years, everybody from the north wants to move down to the south, but not all the way to the south. Raleigh, Durham's great. Tennessee is great. There's so much opportunity in that pocket, but everybody, you hear at every podcast, especially the multifamily buyers, I'm buying in the Southeast, I'm buying in the Sun Belt, So there's a lot of competition there, but there's still a lot of deals there because population growth and the per capita income is increasing.
Absolutely. So listen, last thing I want to do, I'm going to pick your brain a little bit about relationships. Been in it 30 plus, forever the learner. I know people always trying to pick your brain, but I do want to know, how do you evaluate relationships? Like, has relationships been important to you along your journey? Has they impacted you in a positive way? Like, how do you evaluate and look at relationships within what you do?
You mean personal relationships or business relationships?
I mean more business relationships, but you can answer it both ways, business and personal, if you want to. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do both.
Yeah.
Personal, make sure you have a significant other that's supportive.
Mm.
Because if you don't, you're never going to make it.
Mm.
It's going to either destroy the marriage, or
Wow.
you're going to try to make that marriage happy, and it's not going to work because you're not going to be happy, because you're going to have unfulfilled dreams. You're going to have something that a goal you knew you could have made, and it got held back. Business relationships. Honesty is the best policy. I always tell everybody, your name's the most important thing you've got.
Mm.
How you treat people, it doesn't matter. I mean, my grandfather was the worst landlord. Every sad story, boom, boom. Oh, don't pay the rent this month. Don't pay the rent this month. You gotta you really gotta be heartfelt with working with tenants, but you cannot let them take advantage of you. You gotta draw the line. With financial investors, there's some that will just, I stay away from trying to get partners. Everybody asks me, can you invest my money and do that? I try to stay away from that. There's a few I've done, but I'll call them up and they'll say, I got this $1 million. Can you find me a property? I'll say yes. And other ones I want to invest in, but they call you 3 times a week and want you to give them a real estate lesson. And I
Mhm.
can't deal with that. So you got to
Mm.
know the boundaries of the relationship, financial and business. And there's a book
Mm.
called Boundaries, I think, and that probably applies to both personal relationships and business relationships. You got to have boundaries, and you got to know
Mm.
what you're comfortable with. I sort of like being the recluse because, you know, everybody tries to call me. I mean, I get banks calling me every day. Can you do this? Can you do that? I'm selective in what I do now. 15 years ago, I never wanted to say no to business.
Yeah.
Now I say no to 2/3 of the business
Mm.
because, yeah, not that, I'm older, but, I'm overbooked as it is. So
Yeah.
I can be selective. I'm only going to take the business relationships, the banks, the servicers, the investors that understand. They're calling me for a reason. They know my experience, they know my knowledge, and they also know I don't spoon feed them, or I'm not going to hold their hand. You know,
Yeah.
I'm telling them the bottom line, and it's the truth.
Mm. Well, I love it, Mr. Jeb. I think you talking about boundaries. I think that's a great message. I don't hear a lot of people talk about it enough in personal life and in business life. But sometimes in business, you got to have boundaries, especially when you talk about having that supportive, significant other.
Yes.
Sometimes, you got to have, you two got to determine the boundary. Like, hey, this is what's acceptable. This is not. This is what we agree upon, and this is not. And so I love for you to preach that message and hear that message and put that message out into the world because I think it's so important.
Communication is king, besides
Mhm.
cash.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I have somebody that say if cash is king, context is queen, right? Like the context, communication, surrounding yourself. That got to be queen. That got to be number two, or it could be king. Either way, you got to have that communication. It's so important. So yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. So Mr. Jeff, this has been wonderful. If someone wanted to reach out to you, connect with you, learn more about what you're doing, can they get in contact with you? If they can, how would they get in contact with
Jeb Fuller on LinkedIn.
you? Go. Jeff Fuller, listen, don't get no cleaner than that. Jeff Fuller on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I have a bunch
This,
of websites, but they'll
yeah,
they'll eventually find me. Everybody finds me. I try to hide, but they find me.
right, absolutely. Well, listen, with that being said, I appreciate your time today. I really appreciate you taking some time out. I appreciate your story. I appreciate your perspective. This has been really, really a blast. And so thank you so much for being on.
Thank you. It's great to have me on. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. So listen, y'all got the value from Mr. Jeb. You can't tell me you didn't. So please make sure you are subscribed. You do not want to miss out on our amazing content and amazing people. How would you know if you beat the guy that invented the yellow letter, right? And get the story behind how it happened. You ain't gonna get that nowhere else but here. But so definitely make sure you're subscribed. Mr. Jeb, I thank you so much. And to everyone else, we will see you on the next time.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.